There's a silent killer of great products. And it's not bad ideas and it's not a lack of talent. It's something much sneakier. It's the illusion of alignment. So today, we're going to show you how to spot it and, more importantly, how to fix it for good. I want you to think about your last big kickoff meeting, right? Everyone's in the room, everyone's nodding along, it feels great. Everyone seems to agree on the new feature. But what if I told you that in that room, there wasn't one project, there were three? Well, that is the illusion of alignment. And trust me, it's happening more than you think. So let's meet the team. First up, you've got David, your PM. Now, when David looks at the customer journey, he sees a funnel. He's all about conversion rates, drop-off points, the core business metrics. His world is basically a spreadsheet, and the name of the game is efficiency. Okay, next, there's Sarah, your designer. And she sees something totally different. For her, it's not a funnel. No way. It's an emotional roller coaster. Her map is filled with these peaks of absolute delight and these deep valleys of frustration. She's completely tuned in to how the user feels every single step of the way. And finally, you've got Ken, your tech lead. His map? It's not about funnels or feelings. It's this complex web of APIs, databases, and microservices. He's up at night worrying about latency, scalability, and whether the whole darn thing is going to crash under pressure. So here's the kicker. David, Sarah, and Ken all walk out of the exact same meeting thinking they're perfectly aligned. But they're not. In reality, they're off to work on three completely different projects. One is optimizing a funnel, one is crafting an experience, and one is just trying to build a stable system. This is the illusion of alignment. It's exactly where brilliant strategies go to die. So how in the world do you get David, Sarah, and Ken on the same page? How do you merge their three separate realities into one single shared vision? Well, the answer isn't more meetings or longer docs. It's a really powerful framework for building what we call a shared brain. The main tool we're going to use is the experience map. But here's the secret, okay? The final diagram, the pretty picture you hang on the wall, that's not the most valuable part. The real magic happens in the process of making it together. It's all about building that shared context. The framework itself is actually pretty simple. It's just 3 steps. First, you're going to start individually. Second, you explore all the differences between your perspectives. And third, you co-create one single shared map from all of those different inputs. Now that first step, starting individually, it sounds kind of counterintuitive, right? But it is absolutely crucial. As Teresa Torres says, you do this to prevent groupthink. I mean, think about it. What usually happens when you start as a group? The loudest voice wins. The most senior person's opinion just becomes fact, and you lose all those incredibly valuable unspoken insights from the rest of the team. And you can see here how each step strategically de-risks your project. Step 1, that individual mapping, well, that's your shield against groupthink. Step 2, where you share and ask questions, that's how you smash through knowledge silos. All of a sudden, the engineer's constraints are informing the designer's choices. And step 3, co-creating that final map, that's where you finally kill the illusion of alignment and get a genuine shared understanding. Okay, so the framework is powerful. We get it. But how do you, as a leader, actually put this into practice without it just becoming another workshop that everybody forgets about? Let's get into the playbook. But first, a warning. There are traps you can fall into. The first is perfectionism. Remember, your map is a tool, not a piece of art for a museum. You have to push for speed over beauty. The second trap is letting it get stale. A map has to be a living document, not some static thing you did once. Revisit it. And third, analysis paralysis. Just aim for good enough to get you to the very next step, which is usually learning from your actual customers. So as a leader, your job is to be the champion of this whole process. First, when you see 3 totally different maps, don't panic. Celebrate it. That's diversity of thought, and it's your biggest asset. Second, look for the gaps, the empty spaces on that map. That's where your biggest opportunities are hiding. Third, make it a non-negotiable. Before any new work starts, the question has to be, where's the map? And finally, ask to see it regularly. It's the single best window you have into your team's collective brain. All right, so how can you use this the minute you get back to work? Let's make this super concrete with your Monday morning action. All this takes is 60 minutes. That's it. This isn't some multi-day offsite, just 1 hour. 1 hour to fundamentally change your team's alignment. So here's the plan for Monday morning. You schedule a 60-minute meeting. For the first 15 minutes, it's silent individual mapping, no talking. For the next 30, each person gets to present their map. And in the final 15 minutes, you start putting the pieces together. Look, you're not going to finish the whole map in an hour, but you will have done something so much more important. You'll have started building your team's shared brain.
So I'll just leave you with this question. What are the hidden assumptions holding your team back right now? What are the breakthroughs just waiting to be discovered once you stop thinking you're aligned and you actually start building that shared brain together?